Hey guys, Todd, we're here at E3 2016, and I'm with Joe Staten, who is the writer for Recore. How you doing, Joe?
Doing great. It's been a great show.
So right away, we know the price is $40. Does that have to do with the heavy story the game has?
Well, when we decided on the price point, the most important thing for us was to get it into as many hands as possible. And although it's a really great big game, we just wanted to make sure that anybody who wanted to play, it was a really easy decision to make. So that was a lot of the reason why we went to $40.
Awesome. So tell us, can we find out anything about this protagonist? What's her name? What's about her?
Sure, yeah. Well, we've revealed her name. Her name is Joule Adams. Joule spelled like the unit of energy, so Joule. And she's a colonist on this world of Far Eden that was meant to go there and get the planet ready for a bunch of other people to come from Earth. We're not talking too much about what happened to Earth, not to spoil the story, but Earth is in a bad way, and so they need to terraform Far Eden to give humanity a new home. But when Joule wakes up from cryosleep, everything has gone totally wrong. The planet's still a desert, there are these big storms, and all the robots have basically gone nuts. So she has to figure out what happened and how she can fix it.
So how was it like working with the guys who brought us Metroid Prime? How was that experience?
So all the guys down at Armature, who are the former leads of the Metroid Prime games, are just terrific. They've really crafted a game which, maybe like Metroid, looks maybe simple from the outside, but once you get into it, it's got really rich, layered mechanics, and is a real challenge. Even at E3, you can see people playing the build. I think people step up and think, oh, this kind of candy-colored game, it's going to be easy, I'm just going to wipe it really fast. But by the end of 15 minutes, they're sitting there going, oh my god, like this is a real challenge.
I got a little lost while I was playing it, so I didn't get to finish the demo.
Yeah.
But anyways, during the story, will we find any collectibles to collect? Because obviously there are completionists out there, and looking for a challenge to explore this awesome universe.
For sure, yeah. I can't talk about specific things, but if you know Metroid, if you know that history, those games are all about seeing areas that you can't get to at first and being able to go back with later on with tools to get there. It's a big world, an overworld that you explore filled with dungeons, so there's going to be a lot of stuff to collect, and we have a whole crafting system and progression system for the core bots that we're going to talk more about over the summer too.
So how long was this game in development? It looks like it could have been in development for a really long time. I don't know.
Actually not so long. I mean, for me, the kind of games that I've worked on have been sometimes many, many years in development, but this game has been in development at least a couple years, but that's not really that long for new IP.
Also, could we expect some kind of beta? come out?
Well, probably because we're so close to launch. We announced the game last year, and now we're showing up at E3, and it comes out on September 13th. So there's really not a lot of time between now and then to run a beta. We've certainly been doing internal beta testing and all of that, but there won't be a public beta.
Okay, also, how does this differ from your typical AAA games, like all these other games over here? How does it differ from that?
Well, I think one of the big reasons, or one of the big ways it differs from that is the protagonist, Joule. I mean, she's this great new female character. She's with these core bots, her friends, and the tone of the game and the feel of the game, it's not dark, it's not depressing. I mean, Joule has big problems that she has to deal with, but it's a bright, colorful, hopeful world once you solve all the problems. And so I think when you play it, you'll feel fast, you'll feel agile in a world that's bright and full of adventure.
Also, side Recore question. This comes from Twitter. This comes from Twitter from Wall_AR_15. He asks, you've written Shadow of Intent, which was a Halo novel, right?
Yeah.
Will you be doing any more in the future, Halo-related stuff?
I don't know how to answer that question. Most likely not. I mean, whenever those guys call and invite me back into that world, I'm always happy to go, but there's nothing now that I can talk about.
Also, would you like to say anything else to our viewers?
Sure, well, I just say, hey, if you love Mega Man, if you love Metroid, you love those classic games, and you want a game with a lot of challenge and a lot of heart, I hope you give Recore a try. It's really a lot of fun.
Awesome. Thank you for this interview. Make sure to stay tuned for our E3 2016 coverage. Follow us on Twitter and follow this guy on Twitter. What's your Twitter handle, by the way?
@Joe Staten. Real simple.
Right. Get rectified. See you later.
Thanks.